I'm Dr. Jillian Friedman, Managing Health Editor of Ability Magazine, a leading publication addressing health, disability, and human potential.
And I'm Max Gale, a subscriber and sometime contributor to Ability Magazine.
I also volunteer as a director for Ability Awareness, a nonprofit organization that has partnered with Habitat for Humanity to build accessible homes and to build awareness of the value of volunteering for people with disabilities.
And I've been a volunteer on the Ability House project a number of times, going back to the first one in Birmingham, Alabama back in 1999.
Today there are 56 million people with mental or physical disabilities in America. The Department of Housing and Urban Development has identified people with disabilities as one of the principal populations experiencing worst-case housing needs. Ability Awareness and Habitat for Humanity address this need through the Ability House project.
Now, there are two features that make the Ability House project really unique. The first is that the program endorses universal design. That's the strategy for building environments that can be visited by people of all ages and all abilities. And the second, it specifically seeks to involve volunteers with disabilities in all phases of construction. You know, to see or work with people with disabilities actually building a house, well, that'll wipe out all the stereotypes and myths you might have about people with disabilities. And it helps those volunteers to explore and to demonstrate their abilities.
The adage, "it's better to give than to receive," is borne out in health studies showing that emotional well-being, physical health, and mental sharpness improve when people join activities where they can give and receive encouragement and learn new skills.
I'll attest to that. Anyway, the following presentation was shot at an Ability House build in Baltimore, Maryland, and this was documented by the Good Life Television Network for an episode of their series, Volunteers for the Sake of Others. I think you'll enjoy it.
So many people wonder how a blind person can build a house, or how a person who uses a wheelchair can come and build a house.
Volunteers, many with disabilities and little knowledge of construction, have set out to try and build a house in just 8 days.
Most of them have never done any kind of construction work.
Will wet weather dampen their spirits?
We would rather have better weather, but we've got a schedule to keep.
It will take all of the volunteers working together to complete this house on time.
Everyone can come out and pick up a hammer, and we're all on equal ground.
Welcome to Good Life TV Network's Volunteers for the Sake of Others. I'm Doris McMillan. People with disabilities are often marginalized by society. An impairment is often seen as being a major obstacle to living a normal life. Ability Awareness, a nonprofit organization, combats this misconception by recruiting people who have disabilities to help construct homes, often for people who themselves have a disability. This time-honored tradition of volunteering allows those with disabilities to help someone in need.
The Ability House project is a hallmark program of Ability Awareness and was basically started to increase awareness around the issues surrounding people with disabilities, to really bring people with disabilities out and show the community their true skills and their talents and their potential as volunteers, as mentors, and as employees.
Volunteering benefits the provider of service perhaps as much as it does the recipient of service. And so when you have someone who is commonly thought of as in need, there is a therapeutic benefit to be derived when those individuals can in fact be the providers of service.
Here, Ability teams with the local chapter of Habitat for Humanity to build a house with a few special features. The Ability House is an accessibly designed home built for someone with a disability by volunteers, many of whom also have disabilities.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
The concept of universal design, which means people who have physical impairments are able to get in or out of it with no barriers. And so I think that this is a worthwhile project.
It's a big stigma that blind people have to sit and they can't do things, and we see a lot of people that come through our program that they've had people take care of them their whole lives, and there's no reason for that really.
So often people with disabilities, they aren't looked to as volunteers, and every single person has his or her individual level of ability. And so it's just really a matter of finding out what that is and utilizing them to their fullest potential.
Here now, feel that. See what we're going to do?
Red Hats, experienced volunteers, work on securing the roof, while a group of blind volunteers help with the house's exterior.
I was given 4 individuals, and I took them aside, gave them a quick lesson on how to operate a screw gun. All I had to do was point to where the screw needed to go in. I'd say, follow my finger. They'd find my fingertip, put the screw there, and screw it in.
Something really clicked with Fred. He was there working with the volunteers, patiently working with each one, and he was giving of himself, and he really sensed what this is all about.
I was totally amazed and impressed. And to call them disabled is no longer adequate. They are definitely able-bodied with a minor inconvenience.
Tom Owens has been blind since the age of 11, but involved in carpentry all his life.
Technically, I've been doing this stuff since I was about 3. I started working with my father when I was 3 years old. Everybody in my family has some kind of trade type skill. And Romney's a great partner.
She likes high places.
I think these guys are doing a great job. It's great to come out here and see people from all walks of life, and I'm real happy to be a part of it.
Tom's an amazing role model for the blindness community, just to show that you really can do anything that you want to do, and there's no reason that you can't. You can do anything but drive a car, is what we like to say.
60-year-old John Randall had a stroke 11 years ago. He now has left side hemiparesis and lacks the use of his left arm and leg.
I need accessibility everywhere I go. So anything I can help someone, that's automatic with me.
You'll pull straight up to it.
A self-declared advocate for people with disabilities, John volunteers on a number of Baltimore area committees.
You need people who care to help people who can't help themselves. So many people worry about money, but to volunteer is great. You get a different reward when you volunteer.
So many people wonder how a blind person can build a house, or how a person who uses a wheelchair can come and build a house. The reality is that the biggest limitations that people with disabilities have are preconceptions that we placed on them.
Today I wanted to help out, just see what I can do, just a little bit of drilling I could do. I just wanted to help volunteer. It does bring back memories of when my house was being built.
You all are doing a super job.
It really touches me to see people here volunteering their time. It's good to know that there's good people out there that really want to dedicate their lives, even if it's just a few hours out of their day, to help someone else.
Volunteers, many with disabilities and limited construction experience, have completed the exterior of Kathy Hall's home in just 8 days.
So this is obviously a good thing.
And it is. The Ability House project has been recognized with the Presidential Service Award for volunteering. But an Ability House needs more than volunteers. It also needs financial resources.
We've so far received great support from corporations, organizations, individuals, but expanding the Ability House program means expanding that support. So for any corporation, organization, individual interested in sponsoring or donating, please contact Ability Awareness.